right, hello, and thanks for tuning in. You're listening to WSDH Live on 91.5 FM. My name's Jay McGrail. I'm the chair of the Sandwich School Committee. Today I have the Civic Action Team with me in studio. We're going to talk about the club that they have and some of the things that they do. Why don't you guys introduce yourself and tell me a little bit about what grade you're in and a little bit about yourself.
I'm Anna Smiley. I'm a junior at Sandwich High School, and I'm involved in a lot of other clubs such as like Student Council and International Studies and all that.
Great. Sounds good.
My name is Jacob Swenson. I'm a freshman. I'm the vice president of the Civic Action Team, and I'm also in a lot of similar clubs like Anna.
All right.
I'm Molly Kent. I'm a freshman as well, and I'm the secretary of the Civic Action Team, and I'm involved in kind of the same clubs, like we do international studies and debate together too.
All right, great. Sounds like you guys are pretty invested in our school. Yeah, not a lot of downtime, right? So you just had school vacation, and today's the first day back. You ready for summer already?
Yeah.
Yeah, looks like I got unanimous approval for that there. All right, so Civic Action Team. I know I'm at the school committee at our last meeting. A couple of members of you guys' team came and spoke about an event that you just had and told us a little bit about yourself. But I could use a refresher, and I'm sure some of the other listening audiences who weren't tuned into our school committee meeting may not know anything about the Civic Action Team. Molly, why don't you tell us a little bit about it?
Well, really we started this club because we want to do more things involved with civics specifically, and we wanted to actually go out and do things. That's why it's called kind of like the action team, because we don't really want to just sit around and just talk about civics. We wanted to actually use what we learned in the club and go out and try to make a difference in our communities. And there used to be a civics class here before, and then the history department kind of changed, so we wanted to bring that back in some way to the school.
That's great. So Jacob, how many years have you guys been doing this?
So this is actually the first year of the club. We just started it actually a few months ago in January, I think. Is that right?
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's
so
exciting.
We're part of a lot of the same clubs, and the clubs work together. It's a lot of just talking about the issues, whereas this was kind of, taking action and finding solutions. So that's actually how we started, because we're all part of debate. So Mr. Everett, our advisor, since he's the advisor of the debate team as well, he was talking to us about a club idea he had.
And this was the idea, the Civic Action Team. All right, so Anna, how did it start? Like, how did you guys go about forming this group?
Pretty much Mr. Everett, again, like at debate, he kind of had the idea because where he lives, I'm pretty sure New Bedford, there's a club much similar to this there, and he saw them doing things in their community, and he thought it would be really great if Sandwich, like the town of Sandwich, had like a club like that, so we could do stuff in our own community. And then he kind of knew that like we were all interested in like making a difference and like helping out in our community, so he reached out to us to join the club, and so we did, and brought some other friends along, and it's been going pretty well.
Great. How many people are on the team?
Like I'd say about like 12 or 14. It really depends, because sports, some kids can't make meetings or because of like KTC, so it give or take about like somewhere between like 10 and 15.
What would be the best number? Do you think it will grow up into the 20s, or do you think that's a good number for the club to be at right now?
I think we have a lot of potential to grow. Again, like it was just formed in like January, so a lot of kids don't really know about it because we weren't able to go to the club fair and like advertise our club yet, but I think in years to come it's going to grow as we do more events and more kids want to get involved.
That's probably how it starts. Once they see what you're doing, they want to be a part of it.
Yeah.
Now we're on the radio talking about it, so we'll get some free advertising there for that. So the March for Science, right? One of you guys want to tell me a little bit about that? Is that your first event?
Yes.
All right. Molly, you want to jump in?
Sure. So we started planning the March for Science pretty quickly once we kind of like initiated the club, and we heard about it through like the sister marches like in DC and in Boston, and we immediately realized that we wanted to do something at least surrounded by it, and we finally came to the decision to do the Science March, and it took kind of a while. We had to start getting like approval, and then that way we could actually go out and do things. So Dr. Gould let us use the wing school for it, which was really awesome, and from then we just started planning all the details, and we had Mr. Newton and another speaker come, and we started emailing people and getting a bunch of statements from all different environmental programs and things like that, and we even prepared our own speeches, and it all just started to really come together, and then we worked on advertisement, and we got a pretty decent crowd, so it was
So
really
when was
fun.
it? A couple weeks ago?
Saturday.
This
Yeah,
past
Saturday.
Saturday? How many people showed up? What would you
30
think?
or so?
Yeah,
30
I
or
would
so?
say
Was
30.
and so it was like an event where people spoke, and like what kind of an event was it?
So at the beginning, it was kind of a rally part. So we had rallies and we had speakers. All of us spoke, and essentially, basically, the whole March for Science. The core value of it is to support the science community, especially in kind of the, if I may say, political climate we're in at the moment.
Yeah.
So the march was to support women in STEM fields because there's still a bit of a gap between males and females in STEM fields. Also to create awareness and a conscious generation to issues like climate change and recycling, and as well to sort of separate science and politics, because for some reason it seems like we've made science a political issue when science should be something we can all believe in, and we want public policy that the people want, which is backed up by scientific evidence.
Well, I can see that's definitely an issue. Women in science fields, I mean, that's a good thing to get behind. My wife's a civil engineer, and she works in an office. She's the only woman, so obviously that she's outnumbered there. It's not quite equality. Well, it's great that you guys chose that, and it was a good first event. Everybody was happy with it. Felt like it was a success. That's great. So what's next? So what are some of the other ideas?
Well, upcoming this Friday, the sophomore class officers, like their class president and all that, they put together an event for like homelessness awareness called like Box City. So as far as I know, it's just for the sophomores and freshmen, but they go sleep overnight in the gym and like in like boxes that they bring.
I've heard a little
Yeah,
about this.
so,
Sounds unique.
Yeah, I don't know like every detail of it, but basically they're gonna have like speakers and like information to give out to like make people like more aware of like the actual reality of homelessness, and we're gonna help out at that event, and we're gonna have like a table set up and like also bring some like pamphlets about our club and also about homelessness.
So being that this is you guys' first few months here up and running as a club, it sounds like you guys are have all sorts of ideas of what you want to do going forward. Is that a fair thing to say?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see it. Well, you guys are enthusiastic about it. I mean, one of the ideas behind this show is to kind of talk about all the unique things that we're doing in Sandwich that make us that make us have the Blue Night Pride that we have. And it sounds like you guys have found it with this club. Well, that's about it. That's all that we have for time. I just wanted to get you guys in here and hear about the club and learn a little bit more about the Civic Action Team. Sounds like you guys are running pretty good with it, and I'm sure there'll be more events we'll hear about. So this is Jay McGrail signing off for 91.5 Sandwiches Community Radio Station. Thanks a lot.
WSDH Live is recorded at WSDH Studios in Sandwich, Massachusetts. We are executive produced by Paula Johnson with podcast production by Ryan Hill. He also made the music. Remember to check out WSDH on TuneIn.com and the TuneIn app for more great content. As always, thank you for supporting Sandwich Community Radio. We'll catch you next time.